like I feel like there's always gotten a little pretension into comedy. It's like sometimes you just got to just make a pussy joke or just keep it. I don't know.
Talk about the fact that you used to think poop came from your testicles.
That's so true though. Like that's real stuff, man.
Another good bit.
Testicles are
solid bit. Poop balls. We're all sitting on them.
Was that? So I got to ask the question: is that a 100% true thing, and you created the bit out of it, or was that something that you're just like? It would be funny, or
no. If I'm talking about it, it's like I'd say 70% to 100% truth, and that one's like 100% truth.
Okay,
where
cool.
I legit didn't know what my balls were, and I would take shits, and I thought it was just a holding cell for poop. Because this is like
this is up till how old?
I don't know. It was probably
like
too old.
29. I didn't have a sex ed class. I don't know what happened, dude. Like,
I've never seen the internet before.
Like, I was like, every time I came, I was like, why isn't poop coming out of this dick? I don't know what's happening here.
Yeah, my doctor said
if it comes out like that, you might have a problem.
Something's legitimately wrong.
There's some wires crossed.
Yeah, it was just definitely too old, like 8 or 9, where I was just like, what is this? Why don't anyone tell me? But I was too nervous to ask, because you're not supposed to ask stuff about that stuff. So I just kept it quiet,
Yeah.
But all that stuff in that album is like almost, I'd say like it's very, very close to truth. Yeah.
I feel like you guys are the comedians. You correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like most comedy is kind of based on at least some aspect of truth, and then you might embellish it a little bit to make it a better story or a better laugh. But it usually comes somewhere, right?
Sometimes like something will happen, like just like I think that's where a lot of situational comedy comes from. Is like you're put in a situation, and then your brain kind of is like, oh, that was funny, but like I thought it was gonna go in this, and this direction, and like what if it would have? And then you start going down that path and like kind of embellishing or hiding or whatever, you know what I mean?
What if it would have? That's a cool way. Like, yeah, that's
like
cool.
it's kind of like an alternate ending on movies and stuff like that.
Right.
You're like, that was cool, but then this other
funny.
timeline, like this would have been amazing if or if I would have had the balls to say this in that moment, but I was too shy, or in the actual moment that it happened.
I think you just touched upon like one of the questions I've asked comedians so many times, but I never knew how to ask it. You just like explained it so much better to me that. That's where you guys get to be creative, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's where it's like it becomes a story, like we're talking about a multiverse or a comic story or whatever. That's where you start interweaving all this stuff, right?
Sure, because the one timeline of the person, if we're talking the multiverse, one timeline is a normal person, how they think, right? And it's a funny situation for the normal person. But then the comedian, that's that alternate timeline, is like, oh, no, that's a funny story. But like the difference is like, when a normal person is trying to do comedy, like for the first couple times, they'll tell a story that is just funny to them and their friends, and they don't understand why the audience isn't getting it. It's because you're not connecting to like the public. They don't know you like that, so you got to establish up front like why you're funny and what makes that story funny. So that's kind of like an offshoot. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's kind of like, almost like painters. When you see their painting, you see how they see the world. And like with comedians, you see how we see the world with our jokes and our stories, because we don't see it as just, our testicles. We see poop and ball sacks, I if I could just compare my balls to Van Gogh real quick.
Yeah. Like Peter's painting, he's like, why is there cum all over this thing? What is that?
I think it should be closer to Pollock, but
There you go. Oh, we have a learner over here. Oh, okay.
Trying to show up.
Mr. Kombucha.
Cheers. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah.